It's time for Uncle Hank. Question everything with M. Kalani Souza and Uncle Hank Ferguson.
Hey gang, we're back.
So crazy.
Questioning everything and almost everyone. And me, I'm the Reverend Kalani Souza, and I'm here with Uncle Hank Ferguson.
Hello, hi everybody.
So today we wanted to talk about the brave folks of Arcata, California. You know, it's a very unusual spot up there in Arcata. I got it on a map. It's kind of way up the coastal range of the United States. Here it is up on the northern California coast.
So why is that so important again?
Well, because it's right next to this place called Samoa. And that's right next to a place called Manila. And it makes you wonder how all these names got up there. And in the middle of Arcata is a statue of a guy who's got a town named after him right next door called McKinleyville.
Sound familiar?
McKinleyville. It's really interesting. So right there in the middle of Arcata was a statue of President McKinley. And the whole area was named during this particular time in American history.
So where is Arcata again?
Arcata's in Northern California.
Very important to understand.
Northern California, where they got Samoa and Manila as beaches because they're naming it after the conquest
Of the Spanish-American War.
the imperialistic conquest of the United States out in the world, fighting with Spain, another European kingdom, fighting over their colonies in the Pacific.
Which is really important to understand because it's under this aspects of spoils of war that
Wow.
they threw Hawaii into it.
And of course, the leading candidate for that is President McKinley, who all over the country has several monuments. But in Arcata, they did something unusual. The really enlightened folks of Northern California decided it was a bit racist. And here's the update. The McKinley statue is gone. It's gone. So they removed the statue in Arcata, California, where a bunch of people thought, wow, it's representative of an imperialistic, aggressive, colonializing United States history. And yet, here in Honolulu, where the population is comprised mostly of the descendants of immigrant laborers, they can't seem to figure out what to do. That's a real puzzling question to me, Uncle Hank.
It's a very puzzling question because, well, again, you know, we've had this controversy going on for a while about the removal of the McKinley statue out of McKinley High School. Actually bring it back to the real name of Honolulu High School.
Honolulu High School.
I know, a lot of us remember it as Tokyo.
Oh, well,
Tokyo High.
I don't know why they call it that, but Honolulu High sounds like a great name.
Yes. So anyway, this is important because when we talk about jurisdiction and annexation and treaties, the only place a treaty of annexation exists is in the hands and the statue hands at McKinley High School.
Wait a minute. You mean the statue of McKinley at the high school is the only place where there's a treaty of annexation between Hawaii and the United States?
Proposed, supposedly.
It's proposed, but they didn't vote on that piece of brass that's in his hand.
Absolutely. And this is another reason why these things have to be removed. Okay? This is just a constant reminder. But you got to remember, who was McKinley High School patronizing?
Oh, yes,
Okay?
yes. You
Because-
see, and it continues today. Even today, they continue to propagate, that same kind of history that we were legally taken over by a provisional government and legally became a territorial government and legally then a state. Yet, correct me if I'm wrong, the government has actually produced documentation alluding to 1953 and the government of the United States wrestling with the problem of Hawaii annexation.
It's been a problem because, first of all, unlike any other state, we have no metes and bounds that describe where our state is. And even in the early descriptions, in the territorial days, in the description of the Hawaiian Islands, they don't have the Hawaiian Islands
Itself.
the
They don't
actual
have the-
islands.
Wow.
They have all the reefs around it. They have all the waterways around it, but not the islands itself.
Wow.
Very important to understand. This gets into the subject matter jurisdictional question that we're starting to raise and starting to bring up, because if you have no subject matter jurisdiction, you don't have territorial jurisdiction, how and why are you here?
Well, so there are some really big questions about the United States' presence. Seems like the question of whether or not to remove the statue should be a pretty easy one to answer.
Yes, for all you politicians out there, this is not rocket science, okay? This is history.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do the right thing, everybody in Honolulu. Thanks so much for joining us here on Uncle Hank, where we obviously question everything.
Hello, everybody. We got lots more coming.
Come be a part of a minority view.
Ao he pau ike, I ka halau ho o kahi,